Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week's going well. I know it's kind of a short week with New Year's and all, but doesn't mean you can't finish the week strong. So today I want to talk about, I guess, just some. I don't even know what I want to call it, but kind of go over some concepts and some things that I kind of really, I guess, live by or I found really inspirational in terms of doing what I do now. Um, so what I'll start with is, one thing about that people always comment on is like how I do what I do with the little sleep that I have. Um, like most nights I'm getting here at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, and I'm waking up at I don't know, probably depending on when, today I woke up at 4, and I was here at 20 to 5. So, I mean, you know what? There's a very important thing that I heard. It's like realistically maximizing your day is all about the hours that, what you do with the hours that you have. So, you look at it and realistically, everyone's like, oh, I need a solid 8. You don't need a solid 8 hours. 6 hours of good sleep is really all you need. Arnold Schwarzenegger says, people say, oh, no, I need a solid 8. And he says, no, you just need to sleep faster. So, and I mean, it's very true because, when I was going through a sleep study for a while back, that was one thing they mentioned is that, the amount of REM sleep is really what matters. And people usually say 8 because that is usually a pretty wide sleep cycle where, you have some time and then you're getting into REM and then you're getting out. Whereas, right now, because I only sleep, sometimes I sleep anywhere from 3 to 6 hours, usually closer to 6. I'm hitting REM sleep almost like that, right? So it's so much quicker. So I mean, realistically, it's more quote unquote efficient sleep. So I mean, you think about it that way, right? 6 hours that gives me, I think it's 18 hours in a day. That right there, you think about it, it's 8 hours of work, right? That still leaves me 10 hours. It's kind of hard to tell. Traffic's always really weird, but let's just say an hour each way for commute. So that still leaves me another 8 hours, to do with what I will, whether it be learning things and everything else. So it's I don't know. I find that's really a really important thing. I'm not saying that it's for everybody by any means. It's just as long, I guess the point I really want to get across is being efficient with your time. I hit a point where for a while I was, coming here, doing an hour of learning before work, working my 8 hours, 7 to 3-ish. And then I was going home, getting home at 4 something. And then, I was doing an hour of personal development. I was doing an hour of some projects I was working on. I was doing an hour of cleaning the house and just kind of focusing on other things. And then it was ended up being another hour and a bit of relaxation. And it's it was just rinse, repeat. So that was kind of when I was going really, really hard on some things. And, I was really, really pushing that. So, another really important thing is learning is always important. Of course you learn forever. But what I always find is right now, with what I'm doing, there's a lot of resources out there that not all of them are going to be free, but there's a lot of affordable resources. It's not always about going to college necessarily. I think college is a great experience and it will give you a very well-rounded education. And if you have that option, for sure. But like myself, I don't have that option. So for me, it's there's a lot of resources that I can use. Udemy is a really great one. There's tons of free resources online, and if not free, very affordable. There's one I was looking at, someone had recommended to me that was algorithms and data structures, and it was $100. It was a Microsoft certified course too. So it's pretty good for advancing your knowledge. So always be on the lookout for those opportunities because those by any means there's never you're never going to hurt anything by learning anything. So another important thing is milestones. Setting milestones for yourself. If it's if you're learning something technical, maybe it's, you get a couple concepts down, or maybe, you get your skills, like let's say with coding, you get your skills to a level where you are like, okay, I can now do like this, and maybe make yourself like a small scale project to test your knowledge, to like know that, okay, I've hit that. That will help you. It'll make you feel more accomplished while you're doing it, and it'll keep you more motivated, right? Because I know myself, when I have like a checklist of like things and I get to check something off, like it's like, for me, it's like liberating, and I'm like, okay, done. I've done that. Now on to the next one, and like it makes me like even more eager to get to the next step. So milestones are very important. They'll help you along the way. It gauges your knowledge. It's a real way of like, I don't know, validating what you're doing as well. And the last thing I really kind of want to hit home is there's a quote from Muhammad Ali, and they asked him how many push-ups he does. And he says, I don't know, because I only start counting when it starts hurting. Because, like that's when the work's done. And, I think that's a very powerful message. And for me, like that has been, really just grinding at things. Sometimes it sucks, but like realistically, when you're giving it your all like that, and really just like, focusing on something, whether it be learning or like trying to develop something, or like a project, whatever it is, once you start hitting those like things where like you're just going so hard and like nothing can stop you, because it's like, all right, there's been some pain along the way, but that doesn't matter, like you're just keep pushing through, because you're like, it's at that point you've come that far, that like at that point, to me, it's like once I'm that far into something, to me, it's just the reward of finishing it. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's, for me, that's the win. I'm like, all right, I've already put in all this time. I've gone through the struggles. I've gone through the pain. Now it's time to get that reward for it. So I want you guys to take that into mind, do with it what you will. One other thing, some tools that I use that keep me kind of like organized, like goal setting. I use Google Keep. It lets you do. It's really nice. It lets you do like almost like Post-it notes, but you can color code them, and you can have like sub like lists and like different labels. So I find that is very, very helpful. I can color code things and prioritize them. I can archive them as I finish them. That's a really great tool that I can recommend to everybody. Calendars are also important, but yeah. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Finish off the week strong. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, so you guys can be notified of future videos. Also, I'm always posting stuff on LinkedIn as well as my Facebook page. So if you haven't given those a like, please show them some love. And yeah, have a great Wednesday, guys.